Call of Duty versus Battlefield, the last great gaming rivalry. Okay, is this still the talk? Is it still the talk on who is the top dog? Are we giving it to Battlefield or are we giving it to Call of Duty? I played Battlefield and it took me forever to try to get into the Warzone. And are we talking, look, are we talking between the two? Are we talking about who is the campaign or the multiplayer or the battle royale? Who's taking the crown of the whole shebang, boy? Who's taking the freaking crown? Like, come on. Because Call of Duty, man, as a collective, been a dog.
Rivalries is coming to an end.
Oh, man.
Shift, corporations merge, and fortunes change. The hostilities that once defined the industry have become legends of the past.
Look at
Sonic
that,
the
boy.
Hedgehog is welcome in the Mushroom Kingdom anytime. Madden buried NFL 2K more than 20 years ago. Forza and Marcus Phoenix have shed the bonds of exclusivity, and it seems like any day now.
But we in the era, boy, of the big dogs, boy.
The inconceivable has become reality as gaming grows ever flatter and consolidated. But there's at least one front where the fight is still on.
Yeah.
This is Call of Duty versus Battlefield, the last great gaming rivalry.
Who got it, y'all? Who said? See, I feel like there's. I don't know if there's the hybrid of there is a person that plays both Call of Duty and Battlefield, because either your team Call of Duty or your team Battlefield. And matter of fact, how we said your team COD or your Battlefield. But I feel like Battlefield over the last, like what Red Sec, it has made that, a little strong of a come where, you have Call of Duty. They've been in that Warzone space. And I feel like just Call of Duty was, with the Warzone, it got to a point that it was just getting stale. Like, it was like people want something new, and it was just like anything, you get amount of reps of how much can you do of the same exercise to still get that same feeling when you first did it. And with Battlefield, it was just something new, something fresh, and we was just like, man, I'm so tired of Call of Duty, I just need a break. Go to Battlefield, and then, we played Battlefield, and then it was like, Battlefield cool, but we still like the mechanics of how COD plays. That's how I felt, but I do like some Battlefield. From time to time, it's easier to get on Battlefield than it is with COD, though. It is really a difference, man. But they look good, though. They really look good. Plus, I think the kill streaks for Call of Duty will always be goated.
The two global superpowers of first-person shooters have been locked in conflict.
Look at that, man. That's been out for a long time, man. A really long time.
EA's Battlefield has been on the back foot for most of it, forced to play catch-up in their fight for conquest. Activision's Call of Duty has achieved full domination of the
It just felt good, man.
Success fuels complacency.
Man, does Call of Duty be feeling good.
Can turn in an instant. The field is pitched for what could be their biggest showdown.
Okay, what is one is this? What's this?
The feud between COD and BF.
Let's check it out, man. What was the things that we love? Like, if there was anything that we really liked about Call of Duty, what would we say was the thing that really that separated Call of Duty from Battlefield? I don't know what was it? I believe it was the kill streaks. I liked the kill streaks for sure. And it was just, I feel like Battlefield was just, it felt too realistic. It didn't feel too gamey, Like with COD, it felt game. It felt a little bit faster pace. Where when running, it was like, with Battlefield, it was like, like you knew with Battlefield, you knew that man had on gear. Like, that's what it was. Call of Duty, boy, you can have a rocket launcher, you can have all the perks, you can have the fattest guns, boy, and that person will sprint just the same as if you had two submachine guns with a handgun, bro. You were just moving.
In parallel, capitalizing on trends.
But they changed it after a while.
Within a rapidly changing industry, the combatants borrow frequently from each other, trading ideas in a back-and-forth arms race of dopamine optimization.
Look at that, man.
They're the Goku and Vegeta of video games.
They ain't lying, boy.
Unbeatable alpha and a challenger
who
refuses to accept being second best.
Who's y'all giving Goku to, and who y'all giving Vegeta? I feel like Goku would be COD, and Vegeta obviously had to be Battlefield. Where Battlefield is just like, bro, why are you always ahead of me? Like, you're just, why can't I just catch up? And I'm doing all the training, I'm putting all the good stuff, and it's just, I think Call of Duty, the creators with trademark and Activision, they're not afraid of testing things. I think that's really what it was. Because I feel like with Battlefield, I mean, they tested some things, but it felt like the same for a decent bit when I was looking at it and everything. Because I didn't really play Battlefield all like that. But I feel like with Call of Duty, they weren't afraid to take on a challenge. You know, like that challenge of going into Warzone Battle Royale, that was a challenge of, let's go ahead and see what we can do. And then when they came out with that other big fat map, they took that and it took a little bit of a hit. I ain't gonna lie, that second map took a nice hit with the Battle Royale for COD, and then they went back to Verdansk, and you know, it brought back some people just to get the nostalgia, and it literally just put back the same game, it felt like. But yeah, I don't know.
Burning with the need to surpass
I don't know.
their rival,
I don't know who actually really got it, man.
And just like the Saiyans,
Look at
pushing
that.
each other to the limit only makes them stronger.
Look at that.
Iron sharpens iron, after all, and few rivalries have spent as much
Look
time
at
in the forge
that.
as this one. To understand the casus belli that led us to today,
What's that,
we
Battlefield
begin,
right
as
there? And
most
Battlefield
conflicts
looks
do,
good,
with a
man.
prelude to war.
Who was out longer, Battlefield or Call of Duty? I think Call of Duty.
Keep your weapons with you and clean at all times. You are dismissed.
Battlefield
nice full split. It was
1942
just
and
a
the
nice
original
one.
Call of Duty launched in 2002 and 2003 respectively, emerging
Yeah.
in the post-Y2K culture that traded turn-of-the-millennium optimism for Jack Bauer, Joe Millionaire, and deceptively labeled System of a Down songs
Yeah.
snagged from Kazaa. The sixth generation of gaming consoles were firing on all cylinders by this point in their life cycles, a time of rapid growth and growing confidence in 3D game design. They
Look at
became
that.
closer to their PC contemporaries, with in-depth
What is that?
CRPGs
Oh, Final
finding
Fantasy.
huge success on home consumer hardware.
I gotta play some Final Fantasy, man. Final Fantasy's tight.
Consoles also converged on the PC's
Look at
multiplayer
that.
advantage.
Woo! Look at the nostalgia. God.
System Link LAN parties were a sight
Bungie
to
LAN.
behold,
Oh,
but
the
real
LAN
action was
face, man.
online.
Oh.
The PS2 had an optional
PS2,
modem,
okay.
while Xbox Live launched in 2002. Not with Halo.
Look
but
at that,
Unreal
boy.
Championship, a console spin on the premier PC shooter. The PC was the birthplace of online FPS, after all. Fast-paced,
What is that?
physics-defying
What game is that?
sci-fi arcade romps where competition meant
That's not Duke
glowing
Nukem.
bounce pads and floating
Was that Doom?
power-ups.
What is that?
GoldenEye 007 broke
Oh,
ground
GoldenEye.
in 1964,
Oh,
but
man.
truly
Oh,
realistic
whoa. Speaking of 007 and GoldenEye and what's up with the multiplayer for the 007 and James Bond? What are we doing? Can we get that multiplayer? Is there a multiplayer first person for the 007, or are they just going ahead and just having the campaign that you go ahead and get busy with James Bond and just keep ranking that man up? Cause it gives me that Hitman vibes, but one thing that Hitman don't have is the multiplayer, and that would be crazy if it had multiplayer for Hitman. Yo, I would not mind playing as Wiz Khalifa, but I'm just saying with 007, that multiplayer was tight. Throwing that hat boy across the map and hitting somebody, boy, was goated. That snowboard that they had with the little, hey, come on, man, golden gun. They need that
shooters of the
multiplayer, bro.
time lived
that's the next thing for them, yo, is that
squarely
multiplayer.
at the hardcore audience.
Just for nostalgia
These titles
vibes.
remained relatively niche for the era, perhaps because the modern setting is too fresh for an IRL
Yo,
audience.
look at the
recently
grass
thrust
on that,
into a
the
tragic
bush.
global conflict. There was, however, an ideal release valve sitting over in the world of Hollywood. Released 5 years prior
Look
to
at
the
that,
Iraq
boy.
War, Steven
Saving
Spielberg's
Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan
Boy, I remember
inspired a
that.
wave of
Oh
World
my
War II
God,
video
dude.
games, led by Spielberg's own Medal of Honor. Published by EA in 1999,
Do they still make Medal of
the
Honor?
historical
Oh, look at
setting
that.
of it and its sequels offered enough distance from current.
Boy, look at the graphics back then, yo. It's crazy because our little kid eyes, man, when we was playing this, was like, we felt like it was, you know, the trip to Disneyland when we got a new Game Boy. It was just like the excitement of like, look at these graphics. It felt marvelous. And now fast forward, you look at the 1999 graphics of this Medal of Honor, man. It's like, oh, this was peak. This was peak for us. And you look at Unreal, like it look now, it's sometimes it'd be hard to tell if it's a game or if it's a real like it'd be hard, man.
events to prove
Man, does it be
palatable.
hard.
Medal of Honor's gameplay was grounded, but far
Look at
more
that.
forgiving than the
Ew.
sweaty tactical shooters of
Well,
the
I
time,
can't imagine
capitalizing
playing a
on
battle
cinematic
royale with the aim like
intensity
that.
of war to
Actually might
raise
be fun.
adrenaline. The third game in the series, the PC-exclusive Allied Assault, introduced multiplayer to the mix. Soon, a Swedish studio
Look at
named
that.
DICE and its newly acquired developer Refraction
I feel like
Games
a lot
threw
of
their
people
help-
would still. I don't know if this game is still active, but I feel like a lot of people will probably still play this, man. I really do. Like this multiplayer of old school. It's just like that old school Pac-Man vibe of you know, the graphics ain't too crazy that you just went in here and you just got ahead and got busy.
It's into
You
the
really
fray
did.
with
You didn't care about nothing. You
Battlefield
just got busy.
1942.
Look at that. Look at that, man. That's what they need to come out. Halo need to hurry up and come out with their battle royale. They out here just tripping. All that great potential. Look at that, man.
Released for PC in 2002, BF 1942 traded the storytelling and grit of its contemporaries
No way
in
you hit that.
exchange for
Oh, he hit
large-scale
that shot?
chaotic
Good for him.
combat. Tanks trolled the deserts of El Alamein, and dogfighters strafed the beaches of Wake Island, while players fought as specialized
Look at
classes, working together to conquer their opponents. It was the anarchic action of earlier games like Tribes 2 with a fresh coat of olive drab, and it became one of
Boy, it
EA's
looked like they
breakout
playing
hits of the
GTA,
era.
boy, what?
A
Medal
year
of Honor.
later, without much fanfare, a group of Medal of Honor developers split to form their own
Some of
team.
the OG
The
creators,
expertise
man.
that crafted the Omaha Beach showcase of Allied
Yo,
Assault.
screw that board right there, man. I feel like I remember my cousin having this game, and I was trying to shoot up there, man. You would try to shoot whoever was shooting up there, and you wouldn't hit them. Like, you weren't hitting them. But getting close to just felt impossible because you were just getting pecked.
Studio, Infinity Ward, with Call of Duty as their debut title.
Look at that.
God
Look at
tier
that.
graphics, booming sound, and a captivating campaign, something Battlefield eschewed entirely, made it a surprise hit.
Look at that,
COD
boy.
1 outpaced BF 1942 at retail on
that
the
the
strength of
Dragunov?
its single player. But
Well, I
its
swear to
online
goodness,
aspect
man.
wasn't much more than an afterthought. It
Dude,
would
I
take
swear to goodness, if Call of Duty have the Dragunov in the next Call of Duty, yo, I'm using that gun, and I'm gonna use it. Because there's something about them just keep putting that gun. It's like it's their trademark gun that no one uses. And they know no one uses this, but it's just like, I think it's just the thing of just knowing that it's there. It just be like, yeah, this is Call of Duty because you got the Dragunov. It's like that starter sniper that's just so poopy. And it's like, whoever plays with Dragunov, I don't care, man. You're hard. You're hard. I'm going to start playing with it, man. You're really hard if you play with the
Call
Dragunov.
of Duty to catch up to Battlefield's multiplayer advantage by taking a page from its book.
The bloody hell's he doing?
Look at that, boy, right in the back. Was that Medal of Honor or is that Call of Duty? I can't tell.
The success of Battlefield 1942
Here we
led
go.
to a
Look at
sequel,
that,
Battlefield
boy.
Vietnam. It was a solid follow-up, but the setting didn't really do it for people.
Ooh-wee, look
So
at
in
that.
true early 2000s fashion, players did it themselves. The massive mod scene of BF 1942 led to several total conversions. World War I, the Star Wars galaxy, Finland. One
Star
mod
Wars?
stood above
Star
all
Wars is
others,
tight right now,
bringing
too.
the action into the modern-ish era of the First Gulf War. Desert combat. It was so
at that.
huge that DICE
Oh, look at the
bought
missiles,
devs
man.
and canonized their efforts as Battlefield 2. 2005's BF
Battlefield 2, boy, start to get a little, start to get
commander
busy
role
with it.
to reach over
Ooh.
to the massive combat zones, 29 in all, although many players planted themselves in 24/7 Carcan servers and called it a day. The modern setting
Look
of
at that.
BF2 was a major draw. The wars we watched on the news had become the background of our lives, and players were
Nasty.
eager to leave the 1940s behind. It was time for
Nasty.
a contemporary setting that was urgent. And
I
of the
think that's where a lot of people were just didn't want to play with Battlefield. Battlefield, you were able to go ahead and grab a lot of kill streaks off rip, where if you were going to go ahead and play, and because well, you don't have certain kill streaks on Call of Duty. Well, the multiplayer, that's where the multiplayer was hit back then. But their multiplayer was always those big juicy maps, man, and you were able to grab vehicles, and everybody was just like, bruh, I don't want to go here. You run around and somebody's just in a tank the entire game, just blasting everybody, and it was low-key kind of hard to take out them tanks and them helicopters, man. No matter what you did, there was some people that was just some dogs in those vehicles, man. And I think it was just a turnoff for a lot of COD players that wanted to make that transition, but couldn't. They just couldn't.
Not a century from now. DICE's futuristic sequel, Battlefield 2142, never caught on. Call
Yeah.
of Duty was slower to come around.
Look
on
at
the
that. I
idea,
remember this Call of
releasing
Duty,
2 more
boy.
games set in the Second World War.
Oh
2005's
man,
Call of
did that
Duty
aim
2
feel
offered a
good
great
too, man.
multiple perspective campaign and debuted innovations we take for granted, like grenade indicators and regenerating health. Sold
That's where it was like playing a
gangbusters as an
campaign, man,
Xbox
felt good.
360 launch title and staved off the sense of World War II fatigue for at least 1 more year. Call of Duty 3, the first in the series not developed by Infinity Ward, failed to push the concept further. Treyarch's debut was an awkward middle child without much new to say, a fun but empty filler episode in the
Look
family
at that,
saga.
boy.
Fans had grown sick of the setting. Battlefield had seized control of the 21st century and beyond, while COD was still listening to Fibber McGee and Molly on the wireless. Battlefield claimed the crown of modern combat first, but Call of Duty perfected it and rewrote the rules of gaming forever.
Yeah, they did, boy. Look at that. Woo! Captain Price, boy! Yep. Yup. Ah! Yup. Who that? Who is that? Oh, get out of here. Who is that? Yeah, Call of Duty Modern
2007,
Warfare,
Call of
boy.
Duty 4 Modern
They know it.
Warfare is a
That was it,
watershed
boy.
moment
That's
for
when they
modern
shut it
video games.
down.
It propelled COD into the present with a blockbuster campaign
Yup.
indistinguishable from a
Yup.
military glazing
Oh
movie.
man, it was only right for them to make a remake of this. There's a solid amount of we can make the validation and say, you know what, these are the true remakes that we deserve and we should have, and they should make a remake. Call of Duty 4 was definitely one of them. You know, Halo, we'll take it. GTA's, come on, man. Like, come on, man. Assassin's Creed, yup. That Black Flag, I don't know about Black Flag. I mean, I guess Black Flag was one of the top ones. I'm more of the Odyssey one. I wouldn't mind a remake of the Odyssey. I would not mind that one. Even Valhalla. Valhalla was nice, but I like Odyssey. I think that was the most popular of all of them. But I mean, yeah, there's a couple ones that we know that even the 007, they made a new one, but even the 007 remake of the old I'd play it. I'll play it. And there's a couple other remakes, man, but yeah, this one really deserved it. It really did.
Fundamentally altered our relationship with online multiplayer.
I'm grateful of the remake. Look at that. Look at that.
Created a paradigm that rewarded players just for showing up and sticking around.
Mm-hmm.
An XP-based progression system offered dopamine hits in every match regardless of outcome, unlocking customizable loadouts of weapons, attachments, perks, and kill streaks.
Oh, the AC-130. Dude, I'll tell you, man, when I was playing in my competitive days, man, my thumbs, man. My thumbs just don't work as when they were in the youthful stages. Now my thumbs are a bit slow. My reaction time isn't as great. I mean, I can still get busy as probably like, you know, the average, slightly below, but you know, this one, Call of Duty, was it? I'm telling you, the one thing that we wanted to do was get that freaking nuke. And they still have nuke, and there's some people out here that's still cranking out nukes, and if you're getting nukes in Warzone, you're a whole different beast. Especially if you're doing it on Resurgence now, you're a real dog if you're getting a nuke on Resurgence, because it takes, dude, you gotta be a dog in Call of Duty. Like, that's their only game that you playing, and I'm not just only playing Call of Duty, I'm gonna be real, but man, when it felt so more achievable when playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, of, you know, trying to get, or there was one, I'm gonna say it was 4, but I forget, low-key kind of forget which one it was, that it was really like getting the nuke felt a lot more attainable than now. Now it feels dang near impossible to get the nuke.
Stacked on innovation, and when you reach
at least for an average player,
you just can't help but hit that button and start it all over again.
Look at that, man.
Modern Warfare turned multiplayer FPS into a lifestyle.
Look at that.
You clocked into because that martyrdom
Swear to
perk
God.
isn't going to unlock itself.
Oh.
COD to the concept of modern combat, Call of Duty made it addictive.
Oh my goodness.
Battlefield found itself
Look at
chasing
that.
Call of Duty.
Look at
surpassed
that.
in power by the foe they once dominated.
I remember
How
that.
Would they respond?
These were some
First,
beast
came
boards.
2008's Battlefield Bad Company, a modern-day console spin-off that
That looks
introduced
good, too.
DICE's Frostbite engine and its destructible environment.
That looked
The
real good.
campaign excelled with a cast of wisecracking soldiers, wide-open missions, and genuine heart and humor. Bad
I do
Company
believe
2
Battlefield's
refined
company,
the
I mean
formula and
Battlefield,
brought the
their
series
campaign
back
might have
to
been a little bit
PC,
better, I think.
But the pair never landed a
Look at that.
decisive blow.
Yeah, I feel like
Call of Duty had
I do feel like Battlefield's campaign is a lot more, you know, involved. Like, you feel a lot more involved in the Battlefield campaign than you do with COD. But I mean, COD is definitely up there now. It's been picking up the pace, but I do feel like because of the realism, you really could feel like the campaign of Battlefield. I don't know if they had a new Battlefield lately. I would assume that they did. I don't play Battlefield all like that. But Modern Warfare, though, there's like a couple cinematic scenes or a couple gameplay, actual footage of the gameplay that I thought it was like the night vision scene. I don't know if y'all remember that, but there was a night vision, you know, part where the gameplay, dude, it looks so freaking real. It's crazy. But that's not the only game now. Now a lot of them, all first-person shooters, look dang near really close to looking real.
Behemoth. Each new release was a bona fide happening.
Look at that, boy.
Midnight launches wrapped around
Look at that.
Xbox Live servers buckling under the strength of
Dude,
millions,
that is, oh man, that is when the midnight release and all of that stuff was like top tier. Like, they really invested, boy, with getting the whole military involved. I don't know, but just costumes and all of that stuff involved for a game launch, boy. Celebrating the soldiers, man. Out there just, yeah, yo, mom, this is what we do on a day-to-day base, and you get to go ahead and live it through a video game. And that's what they fight for. The freedom and the safety of us being able to chill at our crib and live the experience through a freaking video game. Oh, baby.
Snack aisle joining the war effort with double XP, Doritos,
that,
and
boy.
Dew. Battlefield took a long, hard look at COD's
See, look at
appeal
that.
and came back with the most ambitious assault yet.
Look at that campaign,
2011's
boy.
Battlefield 3.
Go crazy. Woo! That little smooth like butter bean, boy. Like butterbean biscuits.
BF3 screamed blockbuster. From
Look
the
at that.
flashing
Look at
skyscrapers of
that.
Frostbite 2 to the box art's blue and orange color scheme.
Mm.
An eye-catching clash of cool and warm that was ruthlessly exploited by the media.
See that right there, ladies and gentlemen. That right there, what we just saw, that is what's going to keep Xbox into it, boy. You see that disc? The nice, good colors of that good green, boy, like fresh cut grass. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, with them getting rid of the hyper strong blue, boy, from the disc, PlayStation, opportunity for Xbox to go crazy.
It wasn't obvious that Battlefield was explicitly gunning for COD. A cheeky advertising
Look at that.
slogan made it clear: above and beyond the call.
Ooh,
BF3's main strategy for
look at
surpassing
that.
COD was to borrow heavily from its playbook, taking progression
Yup.
systems, unlockable loadouts, and tighter infantry
Yup.
combat, and marrying them to the huge scale of Battlefield.
They really
It
gave you a
worked
Warzone, man.
extremely
They
well,
gave you
though
really
its
a Battlefield,
lackluster campaign
seriously.
mode did not measure up to COD's tightly scripted set-piece parades.
Look at that helicopter down in the
Battlefield
freaking
can't
tunnel.
beat Call of
Oh!
Duty at its own game, but BF3 straddled the line between sandbox heritage and zeitgeisty grind to become something unique and successful. Still,
Yeah.
Battlefield 3 could not
Look at
escape
that.
Call of Duty's shadow. Modern Warfare 3 outsold it to the tune of tens of millions, but a series of high-profile
Look at that,
missteps
man.
was about to open up an opportunity for Battlefield, one it would fumble spectacularly.
Jammers 500 meters north. We'll leg it from here. Let's go.
COD's annual cadence was a
Look at
blessing
that.
and a curse. With two studios trading swings, every
Ooh.
November became natural selection in real time. Strongest mutations lived on in Call
Call
of
of
Duty's
Duty.
DNA,
Oh.
while evolutionary dead ends were ruthlessly culled. It's
Look
a
at
lot
that.
of bites at the apple, but that opportunity comes with a cost. Treyarch cooked with its Black Ops sub-franchise in the
Yup.
2010s, but Infinity Ward struggled after
What?
the studio's
What?
founders split to form Respawn. Unwilling to break the yearly streak, Activision tapped Sledgehammer Games to get Modern Warfare 3 out the door in 2011, while Infinity Ward got back on its feet. The yearly
at that.
grind did
Look at
not
that
slow
aim right
down
there,
despite
felt
the rebuilding
crazy.
period. Other Activision developers were recruited to help deliver 2013's title, the disappointing
Imagine being able to build an app with
Man,
your
hey,
name on it.
Call of Duty had some real strong maps back then, man. I wonder if they still have the same developers that they had back then. Cause it was crazy.
Move out of the way when you get close to them.
Ghost's
Yeah.
reputation haunts the franchise to this day. It's not a
Look at that.
horrendous game, but it is an uninspired one. Its utter lack of riz dulled the enthusiasm created at the heights of Modern
Yeah.
Warfare mania. and
Oh
rumblings
man,
of
and
oversaturation.
only a few knew about the noob tubing. Boy, that was right there. You for sure when noob tubing, if you don't know what that is, you get the attachment of the grenade launcher and put that on your gun. And it was a for sure 2 kills, 1 to 2 kills for sure. You knew you was gonna get those. You just aim toward the ground as soon as you see somebody, boop, and it was like it was easy. That's what that boop. You knew you was getting the kill right there, and you was probably getting a message at the end of that game. Seriously.
First reared their head. It was the perfect opportunity for EA to strike with a new Battlefield title that could shift the tide of the rivalry for good. The success.
Oh yeah,
of
that's when you was able to get your own
extremely
basically
promising.
AI with you,
Battlefield
your own
4
troops.
came out guns blazing with impressive visuals and refined mechanics. It was awesome when you could play it. A multiplayer shooter lives and dies by its netcode, and in a series that relies so heavily on precision gunplay and bullet drop physics, it's kind of important that the game knows
that's what it
when you
was,
hit
man.
somebody. BF4 did not, at least not reliably, and months of server issues squandered its golden opportunity to dethrone Call of Duty. BF4 gameplay was by and large an improvement on its predecessor, but it was essentially just more. Nothing that really aimed for
them
the
gun
stars,
physics was crazy.
Especially its severely
Look at that,
unexceptional
boy.
campaign.
Look at that.
Was not a game that would pull.
Oh, Battlefield was. I was just about that. I was just thinking, was there any of them that actually had water fights getting busy? And look at this, man. Battlefield had you up in the water in the boat getting busy. I don't know if a lot of people probably played in the boats a lot, but that looks like it would have had to been a fun experience. Which one was this? Whichever one this one was, man. I'm sick I didn't get to play it because that looked actually really, really fun.
Was Battlefield Hardline. This Battlefield Gaiden was developed not by DICE, but by single-player veteran Visceral Games. Hardline's fantastic war-on-drugs story wasn't enough to overcome the distinct sense of unbattlefieldness that came with the Miami Vice aesthetic. It was a dilution of the brand at the worst possible time, while Call of Duty kept on trucking. After Sledgehammer helped out on Modern Warfare 3, Activision dug the studio's vibe.
Is Sledgehammer still around?
Into the COD polycule. The 2-developer schedule wasn't making anyone happy, and a third studio was a relief. The devs now had 3 whole years to work on each game. Sledgehammer's first release, under the new cadence, was the admirable, Titanfall-inspired Advanced Warfare. Treyarch was increasingly the A-team by this point. Black Ops took big swings
that was nasty, man. That one,
leading to home runs like Zombies, a bona fide phenomenon born from a quirky
I forget the zombies even look like that.
The kind of mutation that makes cilantro taste like soap for some people. Call of Duty might not be the first series you think of when you hear personality, but there's real depth to be found in COD's voluminous canon. Most franchises could only dream of establishing an expansive fictional world beloved by millions of fans. But between Zombies, Blops, and 2 Modern Warfares, Call of Duty has at least 3. It's hard to keep up. The yearly schedule shaped COD in a hyperbolic time chamber of constant
they had some things coming. Boy, had some things out.
Being Battlefield. COD's flexibility, it's almost shameless willingness.
And you know what, man? It sucks to say. That's why I do feel like, you know, a lot of games have to have those rivalries of another game that, you know, there's a friendly competition that you challenge each other's creativity. You challenge each color's innovativeness, if that's even a word. You challenge people's ideas and how far are you willing to go and how far are you willing to risk your foundation of your game to throw in something new that people may or may not like. And if you don't have those competitions, man, that competitive edge of being like, because that's what makes the progression. What makes the progression is throwing in new things, failing at new things, learning from the new things, while also being like learning, and you just that's it. You gotta learn. You gotta see what they add in there and be like, oh, their audience. And you don't want to copy, obviously, but you add your little bit of flavor to it. You're like, okay, let's remix it. Let's not put it in there and implement the same thing where people are gonna be like, oh yeah, you copied them. But something that you can implement that people will be like, oh, this reminds me of such and such. Like, oh, this right here, I can see where they're going. It kind of is like this off of this other game. I think that's where it is. And that's where then once you take away that friendly competition, now it's like, okay, we don't have anybody to compete with. We cool where we at, but just how long? Like I feel like there's no such thing of maintaining a good game. Either you're going to be going down or you're slowly going up. And that's just how a business is too, of anything, because it's still low-key as a business, that to maintain, you just got to go just as hard to maintain. Because if you like, it could go south so freaking fast, man.
Would serve the series well as it entered a new war zone.
Where are you sending us? Well, this is a fun one.
What we are.
I'm surprised with some of the Star Trek and stuff like that, man. That they be having, like, they're. I gotta check out the new Spider-Man. I'm surprised they made a new Spider-Man, man. They have so many different ones of those, and Star Trek, man. They're keeping that franchise alive, man. Like, that's one of the OGs of OGs when it comes to shows and in a movie, I guess. Like, good for them, man. Really good for them. Look at that, boy. That's
Battlefield's
Battlefield.
moment of redemption arrived in 2016, pitted against Infinite Warfare, the first COD released by Infinity Ward.
Look at that.
Under the new Triumph.
They had them cats in
Future
space?
setting received a mixed reaction, leaving an opening in their flank for Battlefield to fix bayonets and strike. Battlefield 1 turns
Look
the
at that.
clock back to the First World War, a setting
Motivate.
infrequently
Ew!
explored in video games. Slow, agonizing trench warfare seemed like an ill fit for the trickshot insanity of Battlefield, but a loose approach to history
Look at
kept
that.
the action authentically over the top.
Looks like
the fresh context helped
Cowboys
DICE
and
deliver
Aliens,
one
boy.
of its best campaigns ever, a rollicking war
Yeah.
anthology with spectacle to spare. Infinite Warfare won the sales battle, as COD almost always does, but Battlefield 1's success
Yeah, this one
showed
looks
that the
crazy.
franchise was still in the fight. For the first time since BF2, the contrast with Call of Duty was crystal clear. Then, they both went back to World War II. Sledgehammer's Call of Duty World War II didn't
That's
rock
where they
the
went.
world, but the 20
That's interesting that they went that route, because you look at Battlefield, they're up in space, and it's like, oh, we're a little bit more on the future side. And then the Call of Duty's like, okay, well, let's go ahead and back into the ancient times, basically. That's smooth. That's smooth, COD. Okay, I see what you're doing. Yeah, I see what you're doing. One go one direction, the other go one direction. See how it plays out, because I did not know Battlefield was up in space. Yo, I did not know that.
The launch of Battlefield
Look
5
at that.
halted EA's momentum in its tracks. The
Look at
setting
that,
was old
boy.
hat. The launch was mired with similar technical issues as BF4. And the
Ooh-wee.
discourse did not do it any favors. Most of it
Ooh.
was culture war chaff, but fans had some legit concerns about the game's roadmap and lack of identity. DICE was clearly studying its rival with time-to-kill tweaks and smaller, tighter maps, but every change only sparked skirmishes between old-school Battlefield stands and those craving something more COD-like. The division, some unfair, some valid, didn't help BF5's sales. It missed EA's forecasts and stopped Battlefield's ambitions of overcoming COD on its own terms. Though a new development in the online FPS space meant fresh territory ripe for the taking: the rise of Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Gamers' long love affair with KDR and
That-
character
whoa,
points
man,
were
that board
beginning
right
to
there
lose
was
steam.
nice.
They yearned for loot, shrinking circles of survival,
There you
piping
are.
hot chicken dinners. The dominance of PUBG and Fortnite sent a flaming
Yup.
arrow across the bow
PUBG,
of both
I heard, was
COD
tight.
and Battlefield. 5 months after the shaky release of Battlefield 5, DICE unleashed Firestorm, a battle royale that flopped immediately. The casualty of poor matchmaking, a high cost of entry, and being shackled to a game people were already abandoning en masse. Call of Duty was having problems of its own in 2018. Deadline issues with Black Ops 4 forced Treyarch to scrap the campaign for the first time in series history and focus its efforts on cooperative modes.
Oh,
which
really?
Is a decent euphemism for you
Oh,
have to do a
yep.
battle
I guess I
royale.
don't remember-
Sorry, it
Remember the
sounds
campaign for that?
opportunistic, but there was
That
no
Blackout?
reason to delay
Blackout
the
was tight.
inevitable. Ops 4's Blackout was extremely
Yeah.
encouraging, and its successor
Blackout
devastated
was
the live
nice,
service
man.
landscape like a tactical nuke. Warzone, released in 2020, was the ultimate evolutionary leap.
Ooh, yeah, that's where it
Cross-platform
took
and free to
levels,
play. It
boy.
offered tight gunplay
Oh
and game feel.
man, that first launch of Warzone with Call of Duty. Oof, it just gives me goosebumps just talking about it, man. I feel like that hyena when he be saying Mufasa. Just you on your Warzone. Like, yo, that Warzone, man, of the first Warzone of Call of Duty. Man, boy, you could not stop playing. It was so freaking addictive that it was just, oh my God. Like, it was just addictive playing it and even watching it, dude, of just knowing that you're going against the whole map, 50 plus people against the gas, making sure you had high ground, proper low ground if you're going to be there. People got to jump. Have your snipers ready, have your ARs ready, have your people that's going to stay back, have your people that's going to go ahead and rush. Like, you had You had your team and squatted up on who was the weakest link. And that right there, look, Call of Duty was where you played with your friends and you really didn't even feel like, you didn't even care if they were good or not. When you was playing a Warzone, you really didn't even care, because I played with some poopy friends. But like you play with people who was like, man, I just want to have some fun. Yo, hop on the game, let's go to get busy. And sometimes those friends that was trash in Warzone, they would clutch up. And it built your friendship. It really did. It built and created new friendships. And after this game kind of went away, a lot of people really stopped playing. They don't, like, I have yet to play with a lot of people that I played Call of Duty Warzone with, the first one with, that I don't even play that game with them anymore, man. I haven't seen them. I hope they're alright at that point. Look at that, boy.
The Battle Royale.
Oh, man.
COD, not the other way around.
Look at that.
A cash economy, and the
Look at that.
That is the gulag.
Oh, the gulag.
Revenues were
look at that, boy.
Duty.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, man, those ones that wasn't good in Call of Duty, man, you had a reputation on that, man, that let it be that when you lost, if you was good, look, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, if you was good in Warzone, especially on the first one, when you logged on and when people were searching a party, they would kick other people out and send you an invite. Like, you knew you was good when you got on, right when you got on, you got an invite. You knew you was a beast. Like, you was that player that they're like, okay, we get this person on our squad, we'll be all right. Because there'll be some moments that you get to end game and you be like, yo, we need that person with that particular mechanic, that particular play style to finish the game. Because you need those people that aren't afraid to die in Call of Duty. I'm telling you, or not afraid to rush. Like, you really got to have those people, man.
Still reeling from the failure of imagination that was BF5, Battlefield 2042 went for reinvention. Stalwart classes became flashy hero shooter specialists.
Tight.
Instead of tight squad play, players donned windsuits and grappling hooks to zip
Ooh.
across empty maps the size of Wyoming. The game felt
those
incomplete
maps.
thanks
Yeah,
to
it
bizarre
felt like a
missions
lot.
like scoreboards and in-game voice chat, along with the usual launch bugs and encroaching live service elements. But those are all superficial compared to the
Look
core
at that.
problem. Too much had changed, and unlike the
Yeah, I remember
versatile
playing this one,
COD's
man. There was a lot
ability to
going on.
support a fairly broad spectrum of gameplay ideas, Battlefield needs to feel like Battlefield.
Yeah.
BF 2042 did not. It was received poorly, sold poorly, and reflected.
Yeah, man, I don't know what it was about this one. And I remember playing this too, man. And literally this map, I just couldn't get you. I felt like I was just running for forever sometimes, man. Like, or you just get into deserted places that probably some people didn't even remember was even on a game. Like, you'll just be running and you'll be in a deserted space and you might see one person out of all of that. And, you know, you'd be lucky if you win that fight, and then you won't see another person for another, like, 2 to 3 minutes. Like, and I'm an active player, so therefore, me searching, like, you had to search for people, man. You really did.
Franchise
felt like
retreat. The Battlefield isn't out of the fight yet. Battlefield has burned through a lot of the goodwill it's earned over the years.
Look
the
at
audience
that.
is fickle, and one
I didn't
great
know that was a
game
thing.
can make a major difference, especially when your competition is coasting. For all
Yeah.
its evolutionary advantages, Call of Duty's rotating studio strategy is not perfect.
That's true.
Stagnation is bound to set in. 2019's Modern
'Cause they was
Warfare
bringing back some
reboot
old
was
maps.
Infinity Ward's enjoyable, oddly sauceless spin on its original hit, with a 64-player ground war mode inspired
Yeah.
by Battlefield, a sign that even the market leader couldn't
Look at
resist
that.
borrowing from number 2. Sledgehammer Games continued its World War II saga with the largely unloved Vanguard.
How long did
but
World War
2022 once
stay
again
out?
found itself unexpectedly working.
feel like I
on
didn't
a
play that
video
one too
game
long.
called Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It began as an expansion pack for Modern Warfare 2 until a change of plans meant Sledgehammer had to bang out a fully loaded new COD in more than a year. Meanwhile, Treyarch and its single-player specialist friends at Raven Software are holding
Look at
steady,
that.
a solid set of hands that consistently deliver even after mid-development shakeups like Black Ops Cold War. This year, Blops is going back-to-back for the first time. Black Ops
Man,
6
you know
and
what
7
though? I would say they come out with these games and they come out with them every year, and I be feeling like by the time I even start to build some momentum or rhythm with one of the Call of Duties, the next Call of Duty is already like on launch day. Like, I feel like with Cold War, I feel like I might have played that thing twice, and then probably like whatever happened in between there, then the next COD was already out. I don't know what I was doing. I can't even remember what I was playing. But maybe it was just a whole bunch of Warzone or something like that. I don't remember, but I remember with Cold War, dude, I played that multiplayer like maybe at most like 4 times, and then it was just a wrap.
Were
I don't know
developed
what
side
that
by
was.
side for a consecutive release in 2024 and 2025. 7's 4-year dev cycle is the longest in series history. Plenty of time to reassess what Call of Duty looks like in the modern era. The grotesque propagation of licensed content in Call of Duty has come
Yeah,
under
boy, they
fire
brought
as
back
a bridge too
Newtown, that
far
American
for COD's core
Dad.
values, contributing
Roger.
to the so-called Fortnitification of the franchise.
Look
In a
at that,
shocking
yeah.
move, Treyarch signaled a pullback on forward crossovers into Black Ops 7, and even turned down the
That's
kinds
hilarious,
of brand
yo.
deals that welcomed Nicki Minaj, the Ninja Turtles, Beavis, and
Yeah, there
Butthead
was-
into the fold. It's probably
It did low key kind of get real interesting with some of the with some of the operatives, dude. Like Nicki Minaj. You had Snoop, Nicki. Was the other one 21 Savage? I feel like I seen 21 Savage. I could be making this up, but I know for sure Snoop was up in there. And they was adding though the operators of some people of some real good. I remember the one guy that has real life tactical of training that dude, man. When I seen him, I had to get him and the other guy that was not Nico. It was another Ronan. Ronan, he was a real guy, man. I really like that they did add real world tactical military people in the game, man. I think that was so tough for them to do that.
a
Really.
wise decision, but it's also the first time Call of Duty has flinched in a while. Juggernauts like COD aren't in the business of buckling to fan pressure. It might have something to do with the beta buzz of the Back to Basics Battlefield 6.
Yeah, boy. Oh man, that Battlefield. Boy, them Battlefield had Call of Duty, boy, in that. Like, boy, y'all better come with the heat, cause we got something for y'all. Boy, they was putting it on them, man. They really was.
Reset for the series. Classes are back. Destruction reigns supreme.
Look at that.
Guns
Knock,
are
knock.
accurate and deadly. The beta tests for BF6 have generated a surprising amount of excitement. There's a sense of optimism
Look at
around
that.
Battlefield for the first time
Yeah,
in a while.
this one looked real
Precarious
live, man.
though it
Holy
may be,
smokes.
The war must go on. The greatest video game rivalries didn't last as long as their reputations. Countless
Yeah, man,
console
look at that.
manufacturers have broken through enemy lines only to surrender shortly thereafter. Sega and
Not the Michael
Nintendo's
Jackson
storied
game.
animosity lasted just 11 years. Madden only went head-to-head with 2K for 6, but unks everywhere still debate their favorite football franchise. Mortal
NFL
Kombat
2K.
and Street Fighter
Oh,
are still
yeah.
technically at odds after 3 decades, but
Yeah.
they serve such completely different audiences
That
now.
is
There's
true.
no real need to compete.
Oh, with the
Not
Wiz
so
Khalifa
with COD
song,
and
too.
Battlefield, eternal sparring partners,
Look at
forever
that.
testing each other's limits, locked in a grudge match that refuses to fade into mergers or
That's
vanish
real.
into nostalgia
That's
like
Spectre?
so many before. Both franchises are fighters, the last of a dying and more interesting era. Together, Call of
Ooh.
Duty and Battlefield have brought out the best in each other and
They really
reshaped
did, man.
gaming more than once.
Yeah, they
It'll be
did.
a sad day if the knockout blow ever comes, because the fight itself is the point. The fight keeps them honest.
Yeah, no,
Fight
that's
keeps
real.
them alive. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let us
That
know-
is so real, man. Like them two going at it like the way how they are and how they still do. Woo-wee. I am looking forward to what it is, man. I really don't play Call of Duty as much as I used to, or even with Battlefield. I every so often I kind of be wanting to play it, but I'm like, I don't know if I got any Warzone or Battle Royale up in me, man. I just don't be having that type of time. But I am looking forward to what they do add in the future for those two, because like those are the ones that keep the gaming alive, man. Strangely enough, where people will be like, oh nah, I want them to stand there, like, nah, let them cats battle it out. And even with and that's why I feel like with PlayStation and Xbox right now, that's why they're in that predicament right now, because they were like, man, where Xbox was like, man, white flag, all our exclusives, we're gonna go ahead and let you get a little bit of that. And it's like, nah, keep that competitive edge, keep getting out there and get busy, go against each other. It's all harmless fun. We making video games, man. It don't have to go that far that it's like, you know, just trade each other ideas. Make the good games that you can make the good games. Call them up and be like, yo, what's your ideas on this? What's your thoughts about this? Well, we tried this. Because there'd be certain things that certain companies could try and it works for that space. But there's some things that don't work in that space and needs another space and it will work. Just because it didn't work over there doesn't mean it might not work over there. It may actually pull off and work out over there. But nonetheless, y'all, what do y'all think, man? What do y'all, who y'all think is the crown of it right now, man? Y'all think Call of Duty is the crown? or do we think Battlefield is the crown? What's y'all thoughts on that, man? Let me know in the comments.